Hello YouTube and welcome to Charles Garage, and today we have the review of the Tomica premium lineup, the Nissan Silvia S15 version, and the color is also yellow. Now the reason why I'm mentioning the color is that I believe there is a white version out there as well, so, or at least I'm not sure if it's actually out yet, because this casting itself for the Nissan Silvia S15 did not release in Korea, as far as I know. So I'm not sure if they decided not to bring the Silvia itself, or they only decided not to bring the yellow one, or maybe they're planning on to bring the white one. I'm not sure. But once again, I would like to mention that Tomica Premium, or Tomica in general, is not one of my main stuff I collect. I do collect a certain line, like Tomica Premium is like the one that I guess I would purchase the most. But the ones I usually collect are like the Tomica premium racing stuff, because they recently started to produce these racing car versions, and then they decided to make a new line called Tomica Premium Racing. And then there's these other ones which are a little bit more of a childhood thing, but once again I'll get into that later. But yeah, so here we have the Tomica Premium. Now while I do have both like Tomica and Tomica Premium stuff, but once again I'm still having a hard time figuring out what the main difference between Tomica and Tomica Premium, other than the box as well, because they seem to have like similar functions depending on the car. They would both have suspensions, they would have openings parts, but once again I can't really say like what defies Tomica Premium compared to the regular Tomica stuff. So I'm guessing it's mostly maybe it's the casting or car itself, but who knows. So anyway, as you can see, I just opened the box, and they're always in these packagings as well. And yeah, so I don't think we need to go over packaging difference between countries, because I have seen two different cases, but I cannot confirm that yet. Alright, so here we have the car. Definitely, yeah, I mean, it's the Nissan Silvia S15. Definitely a nice casting going on here, and I know a lot of JDM fans out there do like this car in general. So let's see what we got here, so before we go into any comparisons. So like, once again, I believe there is a white one out there, so if there are two options for now, so let me go in. So one of the main features, or the biggest features that defies Tomica in general, is number one, while the casting is nice, they do not use stickers or decals. Well, I mean, they do use stickers on certain cars, but once again, I was talking more like decals. So you can see, well, this one's a clean car, so it's a different scenario. But once again, you can see the headlights are actually, they're part separate pieces, so they actually use clear pieces. Of course, there are arguments where it's not the best, because you can see, if you look at the inside, they have these pegs that you can see, and which will make them look like they're actually eyes rather than headlights. But once again, that's more of a personal thing. So yeah, so well done on the part separation here. And then even on the back, I believe these ones are more painted, but there are also some parts used as far as I can tell. But once again, I could be wrong on that part, because Tomica, once again, is not really my main forte. And here we have the opening doors. So we have these opening doors, although one thing I'm not a fan of opening doors is, well, number one, these kind of parts, they just look a little bit too ugly for me. And then number two, if there's a moving part, there's always going to be these gaps here. And while this isn't too bad, but most of these gaps would be like pretty obvious, or they'd be pretty wide, so I'm not the biggest fan as well. But once again, the interior is done well. You have the basic interior, and once again, I wasn't really aware or been taking note of this, but Tomica doesn't actually have side mirrors. So that's a kind of interesting thing that I wasn't aware for a long time. So we have the opening parts, and I also mentioned suspensions. Yes, they have these suspensions that you can like push down, and you can see the movements here. Now, I'm not sure why you need suspensions for this feature. In my country, people say it's a kid's toy, so kids like these. So, like, I'm not really sure about that. Do the kids really care about this feature? Who knows? Anyway, so that is pretty much it. But once again, the wheels, they seem a little bit small, but I assume they needed that gap because of the suspension. Once again, the wheels are also plastic, no rubber tires, but they do have the bottom, details going on here, yada yada. So now let's compare it with the Hot Wheels premium stuff. This is from the Hot Wheels Car Culture Speed Tuners, I believe. This is also an S15. So let's see what we got. So once again, like I said, the Tomica uses these clear plastics. This one is using decals going on here. So it's really up to your preference. What do you prefer? Decals also have the advantage of because there's printed, they can add more details or aspects going on here. Now looking at them side by side, I'm going to assume this is not exactly the same specs. While they are both S15s, This is from the Street Tuner series, which I assume is a modified or customized version as well. So there are going to be slight differences in certain areas. Once again, has side mirrors as well, and then one of the biggest features is that rubber tires, real riders, which I do prefer more. And by the look of it, the size Hot Wheels seems to be a little bit bulkier, a little bit compared to the Tomica one. And then looking at the back, once again, similar details, but once again, different stance and height and other details as well. While they do have both license plates, the Tomica one just seems to be a blank white one. Alright, so yeah, at this point I'm not gonna mention like which is the better brand. It's really up to you, like what are you looking for, or what do you prefer. Now keep in mind, Hot Wheels, while they are known for 1/64, some of them can be off because they always, when they're making a Hot Wheels car, they always match the width and size to fit in the tracks, while Hot Wheels, while premium stuff are not supposed to be going on the tracks, when they're making it, I assume they're always making that in mind. Maybe in the future they have to, so maybe that's why some cards may look a little wider compared to other castings as well in other brands. But that's just my way of thinking. So once again, I'm not going to say which is the better one, but once again, the S15, I would say it's a pretty good casting as well. I do like the overall looks of it and style of it. And I think they could have sold this in Korea as well. I'm not sure what was the main decision not to bring them in, but yeah, S15 has been doing well. Even the Hot Wheels lineup, S15 has been a stable seller as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's been popular for a while. So who knows? Anyway, that is pretty much it for the review. So today we reviewed the Tomica Premium Nissan Silvia S15. Once again, I'm not really sure what defines or what's the difference between the main Tomica and Tomica Premium, but hopefully I'll figure it out, or maybe some of you will mention in the comments. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. Once again, if you guys have any questions or requests, comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.